Harald, the king of the giants, is not a bad character, not a fraud, and is severely misunderstood by people in the community. Harald is one of the most complex and conflicted characters in One Piece and is one of the best written characters. Let's pick apart why Harald should be in your top 10. Like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Every character has a theme, and it coats the character like an aesthetic, a tone. For example, Luffy's is freedom and adventure lover. Harald is connection, specifically connection over ego or strength. Let's tackle the key moments of this character to show how Harald developed this theme and maybe see how it went over some readers' heads. Strongest man on the seas, yet he humbles himself to reach out and connect with the world. Harald, king of the giants, able to go toe to toe with Rox D. Zebek to a stalemate. A few times actually, clashing with Rox like Mary Joa, Elbaf, and then lastly at sea on his way to God Valley. Harald is by far Pirate King level, established. We all know this. He's the GOAT. We all know this. One can even argue possibly even above that. Although, let's not get into power scaling, as One Piece is not primarily just about characters fighting, it's about the themes, the storytelling elements, more so about that, and the power scaling kind of comes in second, just to show us some good fights, right? Harald shows a great amount of conviction, of will, to be accepted into the world government. Now, we must understand the symbol of the world government, not through the eyes of the reader, us, but through the eyes of Harald. It is not the oppressive government body that sanctions the Marine. He sees them as the ultimate collaboration of the world. So to join the world government is to achieve his life goal of assimilating with the rest of the world and society. To the point this man has torn out his horns, become a war dog for the world government, and even sold his soul to the devil just to attain his dream of reuniting the giants with the rest of the world. Next, number 2. Noble heart and intentions. Harald has a good heart, good intentions. He's a good person, man. Deep down, he's a good guy. You can thank Ida for that. It's a struggle to see him try so hard to achieve his dreams, which by all means should take many lifetimes to accomplish. He wants what's best for the giants and for the world. Throughout the entire flashback, he has traveled to many lands, forming connections and alliances, even with Fishman Island. You see him building trust with the world by having giants join the Marines to bolster the strength of the Marines and increase unity and favor for the giants to the rest of the world. These are admirable intentions. To see him go through these lengths and dial down the fear of the giants to the known world and have them embrace them as a better image to the society, that's a win-win, bro. That's actual progress. That is actual progress. To be fair, by this time in the flashback, Harald has made extreme strides to show the compassion and dedication the giants can showcase. Number 3, repairing generations of war and hatred with outreach. The giants have been known for centuries to be tyrants on the sea, causing massive pain, death, and turmoil. Now, it's kind of hard to believe that when we don't really get to see that too much often, to be honest. We're kind of just taking that by Oda's words, not really showing that in the manga, so it can be kind of hard to paint that picture and understand it if it's not shown to us. But most of what we see in giants is just warrior pride and adventure. Dorian Broggy. These are more noble characteristics, but with Harald, we get a taste of the common character of giants in this flashback. Ending life just because he can, spreading death. Now, of course, after meeting Ida, he essentially changes his ways and starts to mend the relationship with the world, literally changing a culture of a land to hold hands with society as opposed to dominating it. This is not easy, as we saw through the flashback. He isn't home and often due to his outreach to mend the wrongs of the past, as well as submitting himself as a war dog for the world government to take out heinous pirates. This man is doing what he can for his people, just to be embraced by the world once again. And the last and probably the most important piece, let's be honest, his complex relationship with Rox. Much like Garp, he chose duty over family, or in this case, his best friend. Now, I can't mention Harald without his relationship with Rox D. Sebek. You literally can't. Captain of the Rox Pirates. This was a complex relationship. A profound mutual respect was the foundation of these two, and you can see it in their initial introduction of each other and Mary Joa. And as these two continue on their own path, their dreams, we witness an inevitable split. Not in character, not in morals, but on a path to their dreams. Harald, a man trying to join the world, and Rox, a man trying to overthrow it. Two dreams, very opposite on the spectrum, but opening the doors to have dialogue and statements that challenge the validity of one's dreams. Now, both of these men were giants in their era, being the strongest men on the seas, meaning they were the best equipped to be able to take on any obstacle and carry out their own wills. Now let's end this with the most controversial part of Harald's story, the one that got everybody going crazy over on Twitter. His sunken cost fallacy. After the death of his best friend Rox, Harald was determined and pushed to achieve his dreams to become one of the world government, even as far as ripping his horns, sign of ancient giant blood, right out of his damn cranium. We even see him beating a fellow giant unconscious just for terrorizing some humans. We start to see Harald go off the deep end in the name of his ideals, his vision, his dreams. Now, why is he doubling down on his efforts to join the world government, especially so much right after the death of Rox? The answer is simple. He feels guilty for not going with his friend, for not helping him in his greatest hour and only hearing his death through the news. It stings. It hurts. It hurts, bro. To know your lack of action, the thing we've rarely seen Harald do, he's a man of action, is to the detriment of your greatest friend. At least in the eyes of Harald, because as we know, Emo has powers yet unexplained still. Now, on to his sunken cost fallacy. A sunken cost fallacy is defined as a phenomenon where a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have invested heavily in it, even when it's clear that abandonment would be more beneficial. So this explains Harald's over-the-top and blind commitment to the world government. But again, we know what the world government is like, and at this point, Harald isn't too observant of the truth just yet. Here's the big deal that seals the fate of Harald. In Harald's mind, he chose his duty, his dream, his goal over the life of Rox. To give up on his dream now would mean Rox died for nothing. By continuing to reach for his goal and achieving it means Rox's death would not be in vain. Rox's life still meant something for the greater good of the giants connecting back to the world. Thank y'all for watching. Hope this sheds some light on Harald. He's one of the most complex and conflicted characters in all the story, to be honest with you. He's a top 10 character to me. But I'll see y'all guys in the next video. It's Izzy Hayes. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.